DNA fingerprinting, also called as the DNA profiling technique. Now DNA fingerprinting, when we use the word fingerprint, it is not concerned to our fingers, but the word finger is used here. Now this DNA fingerprinting, what is this DNA fingerprinting? So to avoid confusion, so the word fingerprinting is decided to be changed as profiling, but however it is newly introduced, but the old title has been continued. So DNA fingerprinting technique was devised by an biochemistry professor of England, Leicester University, Alec Jeffreys, in the year 1984. So Alec Jeffreys, how he devised this technique? When he was studying the DNA of different individuals, he found that the DNA of every individual is unique. So whenever we speak of the total amount of DNA in one individual, it is not, the total DNA is not exactly the same to other individual. Chemically composition may be same, or it is same in all human beings. When we study about the structure of DNA, the nucleotides, the nitrogen bases, the phosphoric acid and the pentose sugar, that is one and the same. But the arrangement of the nucleotides as such, when we study, so it is unique for every individual. Means it is somewhat different in other individual when we compare the DNA of a particular individual. So that actually what Alec Jeffreys studied. But this technique was used for important situations, which we will come to that later. Now to understand this, we have to know what is the satellite DNA. Now satellite DNA means when the DNA of repeated sequences is separated from the bulk genomic DNA by density gradient centrifugation. So in a process called as density gradient centrifugation, which we had used this in Michelson and Stahl's experiment by using cesium chloride, but here it is a different one, but the process is one and the same. So in that case, the bulk genomic DNA, from this bulk genomic DNA, the DNA with repeated sequences is separated, and in this repeated sequences we come across certain aspects called as peaks. So in these peaks we find larger and medium and smaller peaks, which is somewhat detailed study about that DNA. We are not supposed to study all that, what are these peaks and how they are produced and all that. So but for this just we have to understand the smaller peaks of DNA which are separated from the bulk genomic DNA. So these small peaks are called as satellite DNA. So this satellite DNA is very important in DNA fingerprinting. So that much we should know about that. But how the peaks are obtained, what are those, we are not supposed to study about that. So the small peaks of DNA, which are called as satellite DNA, is important. And again we come across another term called as variable number of tandem repeats, VNTR. So these repeated DNA sequences which are present in this satellite DNA, they are highly variable. So they are called as VNTR. So these are also very important in conducting the DNA fingerprinting technique. So this is what is the DNA satellite DNA and VNTR. Now in DNA fingerprinting, there are 6 important steps which are followed by Alec Jeffreys. So the first step is isolation of DNA. So the DNA of an individual is isolated from the cell. From any cell, there is no any particular cell, either a epithelial cell like skin, either from the blood. So in the blood the WBC contains DNA, and even from the nerve cell or a muscle cell. So any living cell or the DNA is isolated from that cell. So isolation of DNA is actually a vast process where we are not studying how that DNA is isolated. So DNA is extracted from the cell or separated from the cell. Now this DNA, which is a chain of nucleotides, it is digested. That means it is cut or broken into different sized fragments by using certain enzymes called as restriction enzymes. So restriction enzymes called as REN abbreviation, they are the only enzymes which are used to cut DNA. So the restriction enzymes, whenever there is a length of particular DNA, when we want to cut that DNA into different sized fragments, restriction enzymes are used. Suppose when we want to join that DNA, ligase enzyme is used, which we mentioned in the DNA replication. So ligase is the only enzyme which joins the DNA. Restriction enzymes are the only enzymes which cut DNA or break DNA into fragments. So that is the second step which is to be done. So these different sized fragments, they are separated by a process called as electrophoresis. Now actually this electrophoresis is, there is a material called as agarose gel. On that agarose gel medium, the DNA fragments which have been digested or cut by restriction enzymes, they are put on the agarose gel, and certain voltage of electric current is passed into that gel. So when that electric current is passed, so these fragments separate from each other, and during this separation it is found that smaller fragments, medium sized fragments and larger fragments, they separate, and we come across different sized fragments clearly on the gel. That process we call it as electrophoresis. Then the separated fragments, means these small sized, medium, larger and all that, they are transferred to a nylon membrane, or sometimes when there is no nylon membrane, nitrocellulose sheet, which is also similar to nylon membrane. So they are transferred to nitrocellulose sheet or nylon membrane by a technique called as Southern blotting technique. Southern is a name of a scientist. He used this technique, how they are to be transferred, because we know that DNA fragments cannot be easily handled. So just as we take some material and put in some other place, that is different. But as you know, a cell cannot be seen. Inside the cell, the DNA has to be transferred, isn't it? That is why this technique of transferring to the nylon membrane was done by Southern, which he calls it as blotting technique. Then after transferring the DNA to that nylon membrane, here artificially DNA containing radioactive labeled substance, radioactive labeled VNTR probe it is called as. So that DNA is added to that DNA, which joins to that particular fragment, which we call it as hybridization. Hybridization means crossing, as we in Mendel's cross, when a tall and dwarf are crossed, means that hybrid. Same way, the DNA which we have transferred to the nylon membrane, the radioactive labeled DNA, VNTR probe, which is added, they get attached to each other. And so this probe get attached to specific fragments on the nylon membrane. So that is called as hybridization. Now after hybridization, this is detected by a technique called as autoradiography. Now this technique is just by placing a X-ray film by the side of the nylon membrane for 2 or 3 days. So when the X-ray film is placed for 2 or 3 days by the side of the membrane, the radioactive substance in the DNA probe, VNTR probe, it emits radiations. Radioactive means it causes radiations. So these radiations which are emitted by the radioactive substance of the probe, it causes chemical reaction on the X-ray plate or X-ray film. So after 3 days, the X-ray film is removed and it is developed. Now in this X-ray plate or the film, when the film is developed, we come across a certain bands which are arranged in a particular order. So this band pattern which is obtained, it is called as a DNA fingerprint. So DNA fingerprint means it is obtained after a autoradiography, and this DNA fingerprint, this band pattern or the DNA fingerprint, it is specific for an individual. So when we take the DNA fingerprint of another individual, it will be somewhat different. So that is why DNA is unique for every individual. That is what Alec Jeffreys said. Now this technique has been used for various purposes. These are the applications. But however, Alec Jeffreys did not discover for this purpose. So just when he conducted this technique, he only concluded that the DNA is unique for every individual. But now it is applied for very important circumstances to identify a person or a criminal which is who is involved in a murder case or a rape case or even a dacoity, robbery, like that, and they are identified by collecting the DNA of that individual. And to solve the parental disputes, means in parental disputes what happens, sometimes certain parents, they discard their children, that they say that this child is not my son or this child is not my daughter, or like that. So to prove that that child is born to that parents, so by just studying the DNA fingerprint of the child and the parents, we can solve the parental disputes. And also we can identify the charred bodies, the bodies which cannot be identified in case of fire accidents, in case of floods, in case of earthquakes, where the bodies are completely damaged, where we cannot identify the face of that individual or like that. In such cases, the bodies can be identified by just collecting the DNA of that body and the relatives, and we can help to show the relationship of the individuals. To solve the immigration problems, whenever a certain individuals come from other country to other country, so there by collecting the DNA, we can also solve the immigration problems of that people. So these are the certain applications of the DNA fingerprinting. So these are the steps which are involved in DNA fingerprinting. Thank you.